All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Hump Day. That's right, almost forgot what day it is. It's a Hump Day, March 31st. Hopefully you're having yourself a good start to your morning. As always, don't forget, if you are new to the Raymond Report, my name is Ron Raymond. I'm a four-time sports handicapping champion located here in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and the founder of the World Series of Handicapping in 2009. Wrote Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets, and you can get that just by requesting it right here on the show, or you can get it on Amazon. And hopefully you guys had yourself a good night last night betting the sports. Either was the basketball games in college basketball, you had NBA, you had NHL, and tomorrow we got MLB, so looking forward to that. And we'll see what that pans out on opening day. We got hopefully there's no rainouts, knock on wood. Hey, don't want to jinx it right off the bat, but we'll see what's going to happen there. But yeah, pretty good night last night. Hopefully you guys had a winning night. Yeah, and for those wondering, piano lessons are still going well, so piano is getting better and enjoying that. In fact, let's take a look at the show here today. I see Sniper's in the house. How you doing, Sniper? Good morning, Coach Raymond, Ramblers and Gamblers. G&G's in the house. Yeah, Coach Ron can go on a rant here sometimes. But, folks, again, if you are new to the Rain Report, just head over to our YouTube channel or just type in the search Rain Report. It's going to bring you to our channel. And each weekday, Monday to Friday, we go 11 a.m. to noon. And load management on weekends, we take the weekends off, right? And but we still... we'll still poke our head out there and see what's going on. 3-1 last night, says G&G, so that's a good day. Hey, we'll take those days any day. It's better than 1-3, right, G&G? And, yeah, so check us out. We're on the YouTube channel, and let's take a look at what we have in store here today on the Rain Report. And if you are new to the Rain Report, it's a sports betting system that's based on the key fundamentals of sports handicapping, and my fundamentals are this: value, percentage play, and the performance cycles. And I think what goes up must come down, and you got to be in the right cycle to find your winners. All right, so we're going to talk about Ron's rant of the day is betting on Major League Baseball home teams during a 3-game cycle. I got some great stats for you guys on this. I can't wait to share with you. I talked about it yesterday, a bit of betting on favorites at home, right? Now, I got some really good numbers to back it up. HockeyPicks.com, we're going to take a look at how our good friend Eddie Drake Musko, the hockey legend here at HockeyPicks.com, see how he's doing. Also, Vascow, our leader yesterday. I think we got a new leader, though, at HockeyPicks.com in the top scorers. BullpenPicks.com is exactly like HockeyPicks.com, but for baseball. And we kick it off the opening ceremony. We kick the nice ribbons there. We kick it off tomorrow. You'll see them all over the National and American League parks. Everybody's got their ribbons up. And let me see here. We're gonna go through a horse racing. Today's free horse racing tip is the first race at Tampa Bay Downs in Tampa, Florida. The SBI, we're going to think like a bookmaker, like my good friend Ross Benjamin says. And the Bears and Bulls report, no, it's not a Chicago stadium or a Chicago sports town report. We're going to look at the, just like the stock market, the Bears and Bulls, and let's see which team in the NHL, NBA are bearish and bullish right now. And we'll go over my futures pick that I gave out yesterday. And then we'll handicap the 10 NBA games, and then we got 6 NHL games, and then we'll do a last call for Ramblers and Gamblers here at the Rain Report. All right, let's take a look here and see who's poking their heads in at the bullpen. I can see people must be sleeping in today. It's pretty quiet there in the bullpen, so we're going to have to send a Sniper out them to rattle the cages a bit, eh, Sniper? But all right, let's take a look at the I'm going to bring up my Excel sheet here. I'm going to see if you guys can see this. Let me see here. Okay, I don't see it on the YouTube. There's Plant-Based Junkie, so let me do this real quickly. And let me see if you guys... Let me know if you see the Excel sheet coming up in a second here. Calculate... let me see. How do I get this up here? Excel sheet. Maybe I got to put it up here. So 1 sec here, guys. Well, maybe it's video capture. No. Browser. See, I need a what do you call it? I need a program or a director, right, who does all this stuff. Let me see here. If I do this, what happens? Man, I did it this morning and it worked out fine. It never fails, right? Let me see here. If I go to calculator. No, not the calculator. Streamlabs? No, not Streamlabs. There it is. Perfect. All right. All right, plant-based junkies in the house. And what you see here, guys, now I'm going to have to really duck here so that way or you know what, I'll just move the Excel sheet when I do that column right there. All right, so yesterday I talked about Major League Baseball and progressive betting, right? And the thing I'm going to be toying with at the beginning of the year is I'm going to pick about 3 or 4 teams that I'm just going to bet in home series. And what I did a couple weeks ago, I went into the database and I went to see how last season, so it was a shortened season, right? And I went to see how teams did in the first game of a series, the second game of a series, and the third game of a series at home. Okay, now obviously the LA Dodgers. Now here are the top teams that have a high win percentage in the first game of a series. And the rationale, my thinking, my philosophy behind this wagering is that if you do progressive betting in a 3-game series, so let's say you bet the favorites, it has to be to bet the home team in game 1 of a series, game 2 and game 3. Eventually they got to win one of those 3 games. And again, they have to be A-type teams, right? I'm not going to be betting the Detroit Tigers on a 3-game series, even though there's probably value there. But I'm going to try to find those middle to high range teams like the Atlanta Braves, those type of teams, right? Now, looking at the Dodgers last year in the first game at home in the series, 74%, 32-11. Houston Astros, 73%. Chicago Cubs, 71%. Oakland, 65%. Oakland did very well. I was doing a lot of research on Oakland, and you can see Atlanta, 64%. Cleveland, 64%. Minnesota at 63%. Yankees at 63%, St. Louis 62%, and Chicago White Sox at 61%. So I'm only looking for teams that have a 60 or higher win percentage in game 1 of a series, right? Now let's take a look at how these teams did in game 2 of that series. So you'll see a lot of the numbers drop, right? So Dodgers in game 2 of a series, 61%. So a big difference here, 13% losing. So hey, if they lose game 1, you can know what the percentage was last year in game 2 of a series, right? And I found the second game of a series favors more the away team. For some reason, hey, we've always said home teams always have that, that edge playing at home, and there's always like a number, right? In football, the number could be like a field goal. In hockey, it could be a 20-cent line difference in the value. But look at Houston, 73%. 67%. Chicago, 71%. This is a big drop off here. Look at the Cubbies. 71% in game 1 of a series, but it drops down to 53% in game 2 of a series. Oakland, 65%, 63%. So Oakland's been very consistent. In fact, it's like that WKRP when Johnny Fever was taking the drinks. He was only getting faster with his reaction time. That's like Oakland right here. Hey, they're the Johnny Fever of the Oakland of baseball right now. Atlanta, 64%, but look at Atlanta, 56%. Maybe I got to rethink that Atlanta series betting, right? But 71% in game 3 of a series. Cleveland, 64%, 64%, and then dropped to 54%. So Atlanta, Cleveland, big drop off in game 2 of a series last year, and then the 61% in game 3. And this is when I talk about baseball teams or sports teams, NBA, NHL. When you bet on bad teams, don't expect good things to happen. And when you bet on good teams and using the less is more philosophy, you can see right here, and every sport is different. And, look at Atlanta and Oakland here, Cleveland and Atlanta. They have a good win percentage last year in game 1 of a home series, but in the second game of a series, they're very average. So maybe this year when you're doing your baseball handicapping, be careful in the second game of a series on home teams. But I found it to be, look at the average here. Like, it's all low averages compared to game 1 and game 3 of a series. Looking at the other one here, Minnesota, 63% first game of a series, 63% in the second, and then a big drop off in the second game of a series, right? So when you look at these numbers here, if you're using a 3-game range of a home series, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? The old Meatloaf song, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but you got to find which 2 of the series that the team has a little bit of history or in the current season of how they're doing. And this is where I'm going to be monitoring. Like, when you do research and you're looking at stats, and there's a range you can use, right? You can use current season, last 2 years, last 3 years, last 4 years, last 5, X amount of years you want to do. I find the current season in the trends have a better meaning, because when you're doing last 2, 3, 4 years, different players, different situations, but at least with the current season, you're dealing with the same macro environment, right, in the league, and micro with the team. But looking at Chicago Whites, let me see here, where was I? Minnesota, New York Yankees. Yankees, they tend to lose. They didn't have a great record in Game 1 of the series, but they got stronger as the series went on, right? And that's where coaching has a big effect, right? Good coaching, because if a team in Game 1 of a series has a lower win percentage, then you look at Game 2 of a series and Game 3 gets stronger and stronger. To me, that's good coaching as well, good managing, right? St. Louis Cardinals, 62% in Game 1 of a series, but then drops, look at this, 47% in Game 2 of a series, and then 63% in Game 3. And then if you go to the White Sox, 61%, and then big drop-off at 53%, and then 38% in Game 3 of a series. So even though the White Sox had a good season last year, they were weak in Game 3 of a series with a 10-16 record. And looking at the Phillies, 59%, 53%, and 50%. So you know what? Really interesting numbers. And when you're thinking about betting in Major League Baseball starting tomorrow, and if you're going to take the approach of a series approach, Game 1 of a series, you can see all the teams here. Teams that 60% or higher. There was only like 11 teams last year, and then this is where and you see me talk about all the time, right? The A-type teams, the B-type teams, and the C-type teams. And look at the C-type teams last year. With there's always 3 ranges. I always find, like the high, medium, and low, right? And look at the 49%. Like, look at the Red Sox last year in Game 1 of a series, 49% win percentage at home, and then 34 in the second game of the series, and then 48. So it's just amazing. The second game of a series, I'm going to watch it this year. I think if you're going to bet home teams in the second game of a series, I think that's the you probably want to take a look at. And we'll take to see how the first and third game, if there's more success finding value in the first game of a series and the third game compared to the middle game. Middle game might be more. And depends. A lot depends if a team's coming off a win or a loss, right? If a team's coming off a win, like say, and this is where using my law of average theory, if a team is coming off a win in Game 1 of a series, then there's probably a lower percentage of them winning, right, in Game 2, and you can see the big drop off in numbers. In fact, I call it the Johnny Fever effect, right? Which team has a better second game of a series record? And there's not too many. In fact, let me take a look here real quickly to see which team had a second higher win percentage in Game 2 of the series. So here's the New York Yankees. Let me see here. Who else? Not too many teams, actually. 73. Okay, Tampa Bay Rays. So winning teams, right? We're talking about winning teams right now. 53. LA Angels. LA Angels, surprisingly enough, only 4% difference though. Milwaukee, a team that I like this year, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. So there's only 4 teams, 5 teams, Toronto Blue Jays. And now the lower, here we go, San Francisco. So you can see the difference on the lower echelon of the teams, right? So yeah, so what goes up must come down. And I'm starting to see that most of the bottom half teams are having a higher win percentage. So the A-type teams don't have a really good second game of a series record, but we'll keep an eye out on that. All right, let's take a look at the bullpen and see who's in the bullpen. A's made me a bunch of shekels last year, says G&G. Isaiah, I like the Wild in Vegas today. We are on the same boat, Cheeks. I only bet us A's and B's, don't laugh. I only bet I can't see. Yeah, you know what? And that's I'm the same way, underdog. Sneaking a 4. All right, so I just wanted to share with you guys that today. Hopefully, once baseball season gets going, we'll have a good baseball season. Let me get back to my browser here. And again, if you have any questions about this or any of the other topics that we talk about here on the Raymond Report, just bring it up to my attention, and we'll bring it up on the show. All right, let's get to the, that was Ron's rant. It wasn't really a rant. It was more like a information session, right? Hey, you walked in, you got your coffee and your pamphlet, and now you're just soaking it in, right? All right, let's take a look at what's on deck here in the next topic. Let's go to hockeypicks.com and check out who's our top leaders right now at hockeypicks.com, and close some of these windows. And let's go here, and let's take a look at the new top scorer right now at hockeypicks.com. Wiley West. Look at Wiley West here. Big couple of weeks, I guess, for Wiley here. And if I click on his numbers, he's 10-0. Wiley is 10-0 with the confidence level of 63 to 100%. So Wiley's on a pretty good run. Vascow, you know what? Vascow, I got to tip my hat to this guy. This guy's been on a great run here for about a month. Keith Roper, you know what? Z Roper 1 here. This guy's been with us for, I'd say, about over 15 years. This guy's a loyal hockeypicks.com member, and I always appreciate when Keith is posting his picks. And you know what? He's always up there. Keith Roper here doing a great job. And let me see here. Sportsfan 626 839. And these are the hockey pickers you want to follow. And if you look below, you can say follow my picks. And we'll have the same thing with bullpen picks. But let's take a look at the top pickers right now. And the top pickers at hockeypicks.com is Vascow. He's got 5 Stanley Cups. Hey, but where's our guy Eddie? There's Eddie Musco. I got a feeling Eddie's going to catch him up soon there. He's due to go on a great run here. And the most followed, let's take a look at the most followed. And I said this yesterday in one of my videos. I'm glad it's not me. I don't want the popular vote. I want people being followed because of what the accomplishments they've done, right? And Vascow has got 90 followers. And Joker77's got 53. Musco's got 46. I got 41. And Harnett has 37 followers. And that's the people you should be following, because obviously when people are following winners, hopefully the winners are coming in your direction. All right, and then once you make your selections, you can see the confidence levels here each and every day at hockeypicks.com. And starting tomorrow, bullpenpicks.com. That's right, we're going to go to the bullpen. And let me just see here. You can make your picks each and every day. Now, there's no games today, but once you log in tomorrow, you go to make picks, and we'll follow the top pickers, and every day we'll recap the top hockey pickers and baseball pickers at bullpenpicks.com. And Streakcatcher. It would be remiss if I didn't do the old Streakcatcher today and talk about who's streaking right now. Any new Frank the Tanks here at Streakcatcher? In fact, Swifty Sports. Swifty's been with us a while here. In fact, I think he's he's a 9th overall streaker here. And winning another winning day yesterday, Gonzaga. Swifty Sports at Gonzaga yesterday. And folks, this is a grind. Absolute grind. If you're a member of streakcatcher.com, and it's a grind to try to get the winning streaks going, right? And in a row, not just like in a 10 game, I'm 6-4. Like, you got to go on a streak. You got to go Frank the Tank on us, and that's how you will get recognized. And you can win some cash here if you go on a good streak, like Eddie. Eddie won $500 a couple of weeks ago. Eddie won 13 or 14 in a row, and he cashed in with $500 at streakcatcher.com. All right, let's go to your free horse racing selection today. And today's free pick is going to come from Tampa Bay Downs. And this is where Ron goes into horse announcer voice, right? DJ voice. Tampa Bay Downs, $17,100 claiming race, 11:35 a.m. post time at the Downs, 7 furlongs on the dirt. We're going to go 4-6-2 in race number 1 today at Tampa Bay Downs. Mermaid Kisses. Mermaid Kisses. Hey, JC Fair taking the ride here on the number 4 horse. Mermaid Kisses, 4-1 morning line. 37% in the money JC is in his last 100 races. You Know I Be Lying with Ronald D. Allen Jr. taking the ride here on You Know I Be Lying, the number 6 horse. And we're going to close that trifecta ticket with Scott Spieth taking the ride on Awfully Irish, the number 2 horse. 12-1 morning line on Awfully Irish. And your Joker's Wild, your long shot in race number 1 today at Tampa Bay Downs. Marvella, Moran taking the ride. Taking a ride here on Marvella, the 3 horse. 8-1 morning line on Marvella. Now, if you're going to play these picks today, guys, at Tampa Bay Downs, in fact, today's free tip sheet is Tampa Bay Downs. So if you just go to atsstats.com, go to horses, go to free tip sheet, and then in the pull-down menu, go to Tampa Bay Downs and print off the entire tip sheet. We give you all the picks today from races 1 to normally there's 8 or 9. 9 today at Tampa Bay Downs. Races 1 to 9, all for free, just by visiting our website, print it off, and hopefully we can win you some money here today. And what I normally recommend is bet the Joker's pick. Bet the Joker's pick to win into place. This way he comes in second. You will get that the second place money back. Now, if you're going to play these picks, you go 4-6, 6-2, 2-3. Don't forget to box it. And if you're going to go trifecta in race number 1 today at Tampa Bay Downs, 4-6-2, 3-6-2, trifecta box. Always box those horses. And the double Dutch play of the day is the number 3 horse, Marvella. Bet the 3 to win into play. So this way he comes in second. You get some of that second place money back. All right, let's take a look at the bullpen. There's Johnny X sneaking in here, back door, classroom. Hey, did you bring your apple today, Johnny? I went 4-1 last night. I hate Michigan, says James Lill. Sabres are scrappy right now. The Sabres, let's not even go there. 18-game win streak. Hey, I thought you said you don't bet C-type teams, Sniper. Vegas Wild look nice cheeks. All right, so there's your horse racing selections today, guys. And let's take a look at the SBI. Let's see what's come in the last couple of days in the sports betting index. And if you are new to the Raymond Report, this is the SBI. You can get here in the dashboard area. You go to your members area, go to dashboard, and then you go to the league of your choice. And what we do here is just like the stock market, right? We want to know what kind of betting environment we're getting ourselves into that day. And right now, if you are betting favorites in the NBA, you are hitting 80.7% in the last 7 days, but only 64% in the money against the spread in the last 7 days. So we're still in the bull market. So, and we've been saying this since the beginning of the year. Favorites are just absolutely on a run. In fact, look at that, 80% the last 7 days. Favorites are winning straight up. 3-1 last night, 3-1 against the point spread. Looking at the over/under, still a neutral market. We're in a neutral market on the over/unders in the NBA. 47.6% to the over, 52.4% to the under, and last night was an unders night with 3-1, and it's been every off night, right? The night before was overs, so very consistent, and that will drive you nuts when you're betting NBA when you're all over the place. And this is why, to me, the law of average is one of my handicapping techniques and philosophies that I use, because that's why you follow the markets, right? Because it's just so erratic. Now, looking at the NHL last night, 4-3 for the favorites. So favorites back-to-back nights, 4-3. And on the puck line, same thing. And 2-5 to the under. So an under night last night in the NHL. And we are now in the unders market in the NHL. 57.6% of the hockey games have gone under the total the last 7 days. And so 5-2 last night. So if you bet some totals last night, the under is where you want to go. There's Rashad. I see you, Rashad. I like Vegas by 1.5, he says. And welcome to the show, Rashad. Hey, warm up the arm. You're in the bullpen. You might get the tap there, right? Smash it. Yeah, 320. Smash it. Let's go. Smash those like buttons there, buddy. That's what Rashad is saying. And hopefully you guys are sharing our show each and every day on the Twitter feed, your Instagram, or your Facebook, and let's get more people following the Raymond Report. All right, that was the NHL SBI. Let's take a look at the market conditions in the NBA. And let me see, Sacramento still 6-1. Sacramento still the only C team that's in the Bull Club here. They're still bullish. Now they're playing San Antonio tonight. That's going to be an interesting matchup. I do have some great 80% club stats on San Antonio, though, I think. And we'll take a look at that in a minute. But let's see this is this neutral club. Anybody can be in the neutral club, right? That means they're 4-3, 3-4. And the reason why I look at this is I'm looking for value, and I'm looking from a market psychology point of view, how the bookmakers are thinking, and then again, when you got teams that are bullish, it changes the market psychology of the betting public, because the bookmakers know the public think that they'll last forever, right? We saw Sacramento go on an 8-game ATS streak or win streak, and then they lost 8 games in a row, right? And that's because they're a C-type team. And let's take a look at San Antonio. Oh, boy. So San Antonio taking Sacramento, and here they are in the Bear Club. Coach Boss must not be too happy right now, seeing that his team is now bearish at 2-5 in their last 7 games. All right. Let's take a look at the NHL, and let's see what the market conditions are doing in the National Hockey League. and I can see I'm getting support here on G&G, smashing that bell 10 times. Unfortunately, it only rings once, right? So you can only ring it once. But I do appreciate the support, and hopefully you guys enjoy the show, because I enjoy bringing it to you guys each and every day. It's, like I said a couple days ago, talking to my buddy Scotty, very smart dude. He, we're talking about the behavioral science, right? And he says, it takes 21 days before you finally give into a habit, and hopefully you guys have 21 days under your belt following the Raymond report, and hopefully we are part of your morning of getting information, and always looking for feedback on the show, right? I don't know, sometimes you do these shows, you don't get feedback, you just don't know if the audience is really driving your show, right? So always appreciate feedback. If you guys sometimes it's not for everybody, right? Some people like just simple, some people like more analytics, some people like situational stats, some people just, more player oriented. And this is the beauty about sports betting, right? Sports betting, you look at other handicappers or other bettors, they're more fixated on player stats, the team. I'm about analytics and market conditions and situational handicapping, right? And I just think from a situational handicapping point of view, I look for value, the percentage play, and cycles, and then if I can marry those three in enough indicators to get me a good play, then I got myself a good situation of betting. And we've done very well with our system plays, right? And again, if you go to our website on tools, and I'll go that in a second, and podcast, and you'll see, if you remember, I post all our top system plays there. And again, Boston won last night, but we didn't do well in the other couple of games, though. I think that we some of the system plays in hockey last night. Yeah, Dallas. Dallas were doing well until the third period, right? Why did they got to play 3 periods? Why can't they just play 2 periods, right? We would have won that one. And Tampa Bay, losing Hedman halfway through that game, I think that was deflating for the team, right? When you see your best player get knocked out of a game, it really affects the mindset, the psychology of your team. It's like your Thor just left the building, right? All right, let me see here. Bo Jackson says there's many ways to skin a cat, just like there's many perspectives you can bring to sports betting. Absolutely. Hey, I'll give you a hell yeah right there, Bo Jackson. Let me see here. What else? All right, so this is the NHL market conditions. Let's take a look now. Nashville, we've been saying this, watch out for Nashville, and sure enough, they're in the B club, so now we got to start giving them more respect, right? Last night, I didn't touch them last night. I only had 2 plays in the NHL, and they both burnt me. And, hindsight being 2020, and looking at Edmonton coming out of that Toronto win, yeah, and Montreal, I really thought Montreal would have been more, rusty, or not rusty, but just, the way they were playing prior to the break, they weren't doing well. Maybe the break did them some good. Nashville playing some good hockey right now, and you can see the A clubs. And let's take a look here. Look at that. We only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams in the Bears club. Very rare you see 5 teams that are bearish. So that means to me, be careful. When I see only 5 teams in the Bear club, watch out for the underdogs. Be careful betting underdogs. And you know what? If you follow the SBI, let's take a look at the SBI in the NHL. Look at this. And you're seeing more underdogs win, right? And that's because of lack of C teams being neutral. They are neutral and not being bearish. So whenever I see teams that are not bearish, like I did right there into the NHL, only 5 teams, and they're all C-type teams, right? That tells me we might be looking at more underdog wins. So that also tells me if you're a favorite bettor, you might want to, like they say in French, slack la pedale. That means take your foot off the pedal a bit. Slack la pedale. And let's see what that happens here following. And this is why I do this these market conditions, right? Because I want to know what's going on in the marketplace and see if favorites, underdogs, or if teams are just neutral. Because you take the market psychology of it and you take money with that. Money and market psychology, it's like peanut butter and chocolate, right? Reese's Pieces right there, or whatever that chocolate bar is called, right? All right. There goes another little Ron Raymond rant, crazy analogies, but that's what makes the fun show. That's make the show fun. Slack la pedale. You like that one there, plant-based? Slack la pedale. Yeah, people like that one. Slack la pedale. That means take the foot off the gas. All right, let me take a look now. We're at the Bears and Bulls report, MLB futures. So yesterday, I gave you guys my top plays in the my division rivalries or division prices, and these are the teams that I'm going to be betting for the division. In fact, I already played some. Milwaukee was one of them. LA Dodgers, I think, are going to win the National League West at minus 290. I got the Braves winning the American League East, National League East, at plus 112. I like the Chicago White Sox to take the Central, but you know what? I'm also going to give the Kansas City Royals a double look here today on what the price is. Looking at the American League Central Division, Cleveland's not the same. Lindor's gone. Detroit, they're not there. Minnesota, now Minnesota's the only team you got to worry about a bit, and the Chicago White Sox with all those acquisitions. Hey, you can buy yourself a club, but sometimes when you buy yourself a club, the chemistry is not right? And Tony La Russa coming in, we're going to see what that's going to be about. But I'm going to give the Kansas City Royals a second look here today in the American League Central Division. Let me see here. What else? The American League East, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay at plus 610. I think Tampa Bay, hey, you're still the champ until they knock you out, right? And that's what I think with Tampa Bay, even though they lost Charlie Morton, but they went and got Archer, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. The American League or National League West, I said the Dodgers. Central, I like Milwaukee in the Central. National League Central, I'm going to go with Milwaukee plus 270. This can go either way. I know Cardinals are getting a lot of love and the Cubbies, but I think Milwaukee's going to be that sleeper team in the Central. And then I said the Braves. I like the Oakland Athletic. No, Houston. I like Houston to win the American League West. I like the Houston Astros at what's the price I got? Plus 113. And then I said White Sox at plus 110. But again, I'm going to give the Royals a look and the Rays. So those were my selections yesterday in the divisional series or divisional titles to win the division. And those are my prices. And so hopefully you guys, and let us know what you guys have. Like, if you guys, what do you think of Kansas City taking the Central? You guys like Kansas City taking the American League Central? So maybe something to look at, right? Anybody in Kansas City? I know my good friend Tony George is from KC. So maybe Tony George would have some good information on that. All right, what else we got here? Let's go to the charts. Wow, I feel like we're on time here today for some reason, eh? All right, let's go to game number 1 between the Heat and the Pacers, and let's take a look at the injury report. We're getting to that point, right, where the injury report, like, instead of looking at the lines, you got to look at the injury report first, and then you go to the lines. So I'm just going to take a look. I don't see anybody really. So here's an interesting. Too bad Oladipo's out because he's facing his old team in the Pacers. But Lamb game time decision. So Miami taking on the Pacers. Miami coming off a win over the New York Knicks, 98-88, and looking at Indiana coming off a 132-124 loss to the Wizards a couple of nights ago. And I got the Heat. So the Heat are favored minus 1.5, over under at 218. I got the Pacers winning this one, 111-107. The over under at 218.26 is their value on the Pacers, minus 0.9. So we got super value tonight on the Pacers, and the super value is anytime you got a minus in the VI, the Vegas Index or the Value Index, with a plus, I call that super value. But it's it's almost fair market value when you're talking like a 1 point difference. And fair market value on the Heat. Now, the chance of winning the game straight up, Pacers at 57.8 compared to 50% for the Heat. Now, the Heat are on the road, and on the road this year, they are 11-12. So, Miami trying to, trying to get the 500. 23-24 on the year. Indiana 21-24. So, a couple of C-type battles here tonight. And I don't think I'm going to touch this game. I don't like touching C-type teams. And you know what? Ever since I've stayed away from C-type teams betting, my bankroll, I would say, has increased about 15%. And just using the less is more, right? And I've been doing this 24 years. And, I call it adjusting on the fly. You got to adjust on the fly. And I think if you lower your risk not betting on bad teams. First of all, you don't need the Pepto-Bismol as much. But hey, so betting on C-type teams, it will drive you nuts. Now, the only good news here for Miami, if you do like Miami, and looking at no system, only one system play tonight, and I'll get to that later. Looking at this game right here, when the Miami Heat are on the road against C-type teams, 9-3 straight up, 8-4. So they beat the beatables, and the Pacers, they struggle against teams below 500, only 2-8 against the number. And if you like the under, Miami is 10-2 to the under when they're facing teams below 500. And also, looking at the last 10 matchups between these two teams, Indiana struggles 3-7 straight up, 4-6, and 4-6 to the under. What's your bankroll balance say, Ron? Just curious. Bankroll balance. That's one thing I never talk about. Politics and my bankroll balance. Hey, that's my wife. She'll tell you that. Hey, Heat double revenge. The Heat are worse. Good team. Leave your money with. What are you on, Cheeks, tonight? All right. So yeah. So let me see here. Portland against Detroit. And let me see here. And I do bet, trust me, I do bet it's this, the couple of things you don't really talk about publicly, right? But I do. You can ask Bookmaker. Bookmaker will tell you. Detroit against the Trailblazers, -7.5. The over/under at 221. We got Portland winning by 1 here, 112-111. The over/under at 223.87. Trailblazers 7-3 in their last 10 games straight up on a 3-game win streak. They're 28-18 on the season, and they're coming off a 122-117 win over the Raptors, and that was 2 days ago. And NBA road favorites of 6.5 to 9 are 7-2 straight up, 6-3 against the number. But look at this, 7-2 to the over. So if you do like the over, I got some numbers, indicators pointing towards the over. And home underdogs is 6.5 to 9 this season. 30-18 to the over. So a lot of numbers pointing over. Kogo's at 33%. Kogo is pretty low. You know what? This is an interesting matchup here. A-type team against C-type team. Portland 10-4. I got a feeling Portland, going down the stretch, are going to want to make a run here. Maybe Portland might be worth a look here, but 7.5 is a lot of points, right, on the road team. And if you look at Portland's last couple of games, let's take a look. So 122, 117. 112, 105, 125, 122. When was the last time Portland? Okay, so the last time they played somebody was the Nets. 116 and 112. So they played some teams below 500 in the last couple of games. So they're not really battle tested. But when they face teams below 500, they are 10-4, 9-5 against the number. So Portland, you know what? I don't know if I'd want to lay that many points. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm playing more money line games lately. And I'm having a lot of success betting money lines. You got to pick your spots, though. You got to be selective. Pick your spots. In fact, I only had one play last night. I played Denver money line, and cha-ching. All right, Dallas taking on Boston. The Mavericks, a 1-point favorite. The over/under 223.5. Now this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a game of the night. Dallas -1, 223. Now the thing with the Celtics, a C-type team, they'll drive you nuts. Absolutely crazy. 23-24 in the year. And I just can't put my finger on what's going on in Boston, right? I don't think it's the coaching. Brad Stevens is a great young coach. I just think chemistry. I think Kemba Walker's not a nice fit, and for Boston, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you what's going on in Boston. It's just not the same situations from prior years. But Dallas, 24-21. Keep in mind, the Dallas Mavericks were a team below 500 about a month ago, right? So they started a nice run. In fact, if you look at their last 15 games, they're 9-6, averaging 111, 105 points for and against, where the Celtics, just like their record, 8-7, right? So just a game above 500. And when Dallas travels to Boston in the Gardens, 5-5 straight up, but 7-3 against the number. I do like Dallas here tonight. I do like Dallas, and I think I might have a lean here on the Dallas Mavericks. All right, the Lightning in Michigan destroyed me yesterday, says Chunky Dude. Chunky Dude. Hey, fork or a spoon, Chunky? Hey, Chunky Dude, for some reason I got to ask you if you eat your soup with a spoon or a fork. Hey, Chunky Soup. All right, hey, maybe we can get them as a sponsor here. Houston against Brooklyn. All right, talk about the Washington Generals against the Globetrotters right here. But Houston, a 12-point road favorite, underdog, and the over/under at 229. We got a close one here though, 111-106. The over/under at 218. And looking at the Brooklyn Nets, 8-2, where Houston's 2-8. We got Brooklyn winning at 74.07 on the money line, straight up, and 76%. So the higher high on covering the spread tonight goes to the Brooklyn Nets, and that's because they're on a 3 ATS losing streak. And when they face teams below 500, for some reason, that first game of the year against Atlanta might have been the first indicator, the first domino we should have really looked at. Remember that game, Atlanta against Brooklyn, game 1? And Atlanta took that win. Maybe that was an indicator that, hey, we're going to struggle against those C-type teams, right? Teams that are not that good. 7-4 straight up, 3-8 against the number. And looking at Brooklyn at home, though, they're pretty good at home. 18-6, but only 11-13 against the road. And Houston, 7-3. Houston is 7-3 in their last 10 trips to the into Brooklyn. 7-3 straight up. And the last 10 head-to-head meetings, the over has hit 70%. And when any NBA teams this year is a 12.5 to 15-point home favorite, 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the number, but I would not recommend touching this game unless you're betting the total. I wouldn't bet Houston, that's for sure. All right. Yep, it's far too much in my opinion. Tolerance, blah, blah, blah. Straw, who needs the stress, right, G? Maybe. All right, so let me take a look here. Toronto Raptors taking on the OKC Thunder. Raptors now, you know what? This line has gone up here. This line here opened up this morning. I know you guys can't see it, but every time I look at the line, I have a little pop-up menu. If you're a member of ATS Stats, if you click on line moves, you get a pop-up menu, and it shows you the line moves of the game. Now, this total opened up at 222.5, and it opened up at 7.5 for the Raptors. And I'm going to show you some stats. I got some really good stats here in the 80% club. In fact, let me go to the 80% club and show you some of these stats. On the, I thought it was the Raptors. Let me see here. Was it this one or this one? I can't remember. I think it was the old 80% club. Let's go to NBA. I think it was over here. Where was it? Down Toronto. Where was it? Maybe it was the, you know what? I think it was the new one. Let me go back to the new one. Go to dashboard. And I had some good stats straight up. Oh, there was one. Okay. NBA. I got a lot of stats on especially Bucks tonight on the money line. I got some really good. So the Raptors, 14-1 straight up as a 7-9 away point favorite versus a Northwest Division opponent the last 7 years. 14-1. That's pretty solid right there. And let me see if there's another Raptors trend. And we got a few of them here. Let me see here. Raptors, 15-2 as an away. So basically the same type of situations. So yeah, the Raptors as a 9.5 point favorite, very solid. But money line, no way. It's what are they money line? $500. I'm not touching that on the money line. But let me go back to the rain report. And this 116-110 is the game. The final score I have here on the Raptors. And looking, but the Raptors, losing a lot of players, losing the big guys. Losing Gasol was huge. Ibaka, losing those big guys. Baines hasn't really done it, hasn't replaced those two guys. And looking at the Thunder now, 3 straight up losses, 3 ATS, and at home this year, 8-15, 9-13 and 1 against the number. And when Toronto, sound like Don Cherry there, Toronto, hey, when Toronto travels to Oklahoma, 6-4 straight up, 7-3 against the number. But look at Oklahoma here in the last 10 against the Raptors. So we got a bit conflicting indicators right here. Man, I don't know. 8-1-1. The last 10 games between these two teams, 8-1-1 to the over. So it looks like the over is getting a bit of attention. What's the over-under at? 222. And I thought I saw the line going down here. So this line opened up at 222.5, but it's going up. So maybe the over is one you want to look at. And when Toronto's on the road against teams below 500, they've been bearish for 20 days now. Keep that in mind. They're 3-7 straight up and against the number, but 7-3 to the over. So, you know what? The over might be worth a look here tonight. All right, let's go to the next game on deck. In fact, let me just quick scroll down here to see if there's any other system stats. I like to look at system stats to see what the over, to back up any indicators that we've had, right? 11-6, so any NBA team this season coming off a game where they allowed 118 points against, 11-6-1 to the over in the next game, and that was Toronto. And now let's see for, okay, so no, nothing else there. All right, next game, let's go to the other game on deck, And we got Utah against Memphis. Man, I just saw that last game. Wow, 30-some point difference right here with 39, coming off a 39-point win. Okay, how many times can you say a team's coming off a 39-point win in their last game? In fact, just looking, there's only one time since 90, road teams since 96, only one time that a road team's coming off a 39-point win in their last game, but they're on the road in the next game, right? All right, so Utah taking on Memphis. Over-under 6.5. ATS forecast. Gonna lean with the Jazz, 117 to 113. Over-under at 230.61. Utah 8-2 in their last 10. 6-4 against the number. In fact, I want to take a look at the Utah Jazz. I want to take the NBA standings. I want to see how tight the standings are getting in the West Division. So Utah still 3 games ahead of Phoenix. Hey, you know what? Phoenix Suns, look at that. 32-14. Who had the Phoenix Suns winning the Western Conference Championship? Hey, was that you, Johnny X? Hey, put your hand down, Johnny X. I know you had your hand up. Put it down, Johnny. We know you didn't have it. The LA Clippers, 32-17, 4.5 games behind. The Lakers, yeah, the Lakers are falling now. They're slipping without the LBJ and AD. So, and then Denver Nuggets. So, wow. Phoenix and Utah. Everybody's talking Clippers and Lakers. No one predicted Utah and Phoenix taking that one. Is there a system against Utah? We'll check. We can check, but I got a lot of numbers on Utah. I don't see any systems against Utah, but I'll give it a quick. In fact, you know what? If you go, let me see here, Jazz. Let's go back to the old 80% club. And let's go to the 80% club NBA. Yeah, when they scored 115 points. Yeah, but they only scored 114. So, yeah, you know what? I know what you're saying, Johnny. But they only scored 114 in their last game. I thought so, too. I see 114. So they only scored in the system. If you look at the system, and let me go, and what John's talking about is we have a couple of systems here. If you go to the Tools podcast show, and right here, we keep an eye on some betting systems. And this system here is a good go against. And what John X is talking about, NBA favorites that scored 115 or more points in back-to-back games coming off 2 ATS losses this season are 7-24. It could be higher because I haven't updated this. So, but they only scored. I checked this morning though. I was all over it too. So I saw this morning, but I said crap only because they're coming off 2 ATS losses. And they scored 126 here, but they're 1 point away. So it doesn't qualify for the system. Look at Johnny X trying to be teacher's pet here on a Hump Day Wednesday. Bringing up the old systems. Hey, Johnny? Hey? Look at Johnny trying to shine here at the Rain Report. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right. Where was I here? 8-2 straight up. 6-4 against the number. Minus 9.6. So you're getting value on the Jazz. They're on a 6-game winning streak. And 3-3 against the number. 8-1 to the under. So Utah Jazz at home against alpha-type teams, 8-1. And you know what? You're playing probably against one of the best defensive players in Gobert, right? Let me see where Utah lands on the let me see here. Let me get out of here. I want to see where Utah, from a team scoring on defense, where they rank right now. And see, we got everything here at the Rain Report, right? Utah Jazz ranked 3rd, giving up 107 points for. And if you go to matchups and you go to Utah Jazz, ranked 3rd in the league in scoring, 116 and 111, and ranked 3rd against a 16th ranked team. So middle of the pack. Utah only averaging 107 points against. This might be an underplay here tonight, guys. This might be an underplay, especially with the Memphis Grizzlies coming off 5 overs. I think you want to look at the under in this game between Memphis and Utah this evening. See, this is what I love. When we get great feedback, I can, then my the hamster in the wheel starts kicking up in the overdrive in the brain, and then I go and get other stats. But that's what I need. I need more feedback from you guys. If you guys give me more feedback on games, then I can like that Memphis game. I really didn't even think of it until John X mentioned that, right? So the more feedback you guys give me in the bullpen, then the more I can look up things because it'll trigger other indicators, right? Just trying to make the show better, and then we need more participations from you guys in the bullpen and more feedback, all right? Hey, I feel like I'm verbally spanking the audience today, right? Hey, come on, hold your own out there. All right. All All right, so the New York Knicks, -3.5, over-under at 218. ATS forecast, look at this, a draw, 107.74, 107.56, and the over-under at 215.3. So very tight game here this evening. But, we've seen Minnesota. When Minnesota, looking at since Cat came back, they're more competitive. But I don't know if let me see the injury report. Maybe I'm just, okay, Russell. Yeah, Russell's been out a long time. Rubio, Beasley, Edwards, McDaniels, Towns, and everybody's still good in New York. Now, the New York Knicks on the road, 10-14, 14-10 against the number. But Minnesota, 6-17 at home. Not a very good home record, 10-13. I thought they were a bit more competitive than that. But 5-5, New York, when they travel to Minnesota, they're 5-5, 4-6 against the number. And let me see here. In the last 10 meetings between these two teams, the unders hit 70%. But this is an interesting number right here. Minnesota, after playing Brooklyn since 96, 27-7-1 to the under. That's an interesting. Anytime you see a yellow background, it's indicators that have a high win percentage of 60% or higher. But think about this: Minnesota, after facing Brooklyn, 27-7-1. You know what? I'm just gonna double check this. Not that I don't trust my own system, but I don't trust my own system. Let me go to database. Super database. Let's go to NBA. Minnesota at home after facing Brooklyn. Where's Brooklyn? Oh, wow. Where's Brooklyn? Oh, maybe they're still called New Jersey. Yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, 27-7. See, one thing I got to update. My database still calling the Brooklyn Nets New Jersey. Eh? New Jersey. Wow. All right. Where was I here? All right. So this game here, take a look at the bullpen. There's Eddie. Eddie, good morning, Mr. Raymond. I'm late to the party, but I'm listening on the podcast from the beginning later. Right on, Eddie. Eddie's a Montreal guy. He's in and out of, hey, right on, buddy. Good to see you're still listening, Eddie. We still love you. All right, so looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves, 2-5 against B-type teams. And when the New York Knicks are against C-type teams, 80% to the under. So maybe the under, again, might be worth a look. The New Jersey/Brooklyn Nets, or actually Minnesota, after facing New Jersey/Brooklyn, are 27-7 to the under. So let me see if there's any other indicator. Wow, look at that. Look at all these unders indicators. Maybe the unders, and you know what? You got the number one defensive team in the New York Knicks coming into your building. Man, that's a lot of under indicators. I should have seen this on top right here. 13 under indicators right there. 2. And what's the Kogo at? 71. Wow, you know what, guys? Maybe a strong percentage play on the New York, Minnesota under tonight. Let me see where the line movement is going on this game. This is pretty solid right here. Opened up at 218.5, went to 219. It's coming down to 218. So yeah, under might be worth a look here. All right, the under might be worth a look. You guys are all over NHL right now. Let me see, where was I? Sacramento. Okay, so here's the only system play of the night. So Johnny X was talking about systems, and here's a system play. Let me bring it up. And this is the system play, the only system NBA system play of the night. Oh, we got to go here, podcast. And we're going to go to the systems. And we're going to take a look at this system right here. Number 2, NBA favorites coming off a 16 to 19 point loss this season. 17-7 to the over. Now, it could be more. Like I said, I haven't updated. Let me do a quick check on this. So, NBA. So, we got to go, let's see, NBA favorites coming off a 16 to 19 point loss. Coming off a 16, where is it? It's here somewhere. Bear with me, guys. I'll get it there in a second. Here it is. And this season, I know you guys can't see this because it doesn't show the pull-down menu, but I'm searching the criterias. All right, and here's the survey says 18-8. Okay, so it's 18-8 now, so I'll have to update that. So the system is this. NBA favorites coming off a 16 to 19 point loss this year. So if we look at tonight's game between San Antonio and the Sacramento Kings, San Antonio coming off their 2-point favorite. So they are a favorite. Doesn't matter if they're 2 or 20. Coming off a 17-point loss. So they're coming off a 17-point loss. We got a nice system tonight on the over between Sacramento and the San Antonio Spurs. So Miss Denica, if you're listening, I know she's always saying need 2 plays. There's one for you, Miss Denica. I know she's always probably looking in the background, but always trying to help out our loyal followers here. And if you're out there, Miss Denica, just give us a shout out. Just let us, let us know you're there type thing. A little Chiefs Hanson Brothers reference right there. Let us know you're there. And I know she's always looking for a play, so there's one for you. Sacramento, San Antonio, 7-3 straight up. So Sacramento, bullish right now on a 5-game win streak. 2-4, 2-3-1 against the number, 4-2 to the over. So let me see what the Kogo. The Kogo's at 38%. So that means a lot of games have gone over. And both teams can put some numbers on the board here. So this might have a chance of going over the total tonight. Let me see what the latest line move is. And let me see right here. 230.5, 229.5. So a little bit of line reversal here. And let me check the Larry line. Thank you for all you do. You're welcome, Larry. Thank you for posting. Appreciate that. And you deserve to lose betting the Flyers. That's a good one right there. Isaiah, good luck. Chuck, if you bet this 8. Man, you guys are on crack or something betting the Buffalo Sabres. When the bullpen is talking about the Buffalo Sabres, your show, I got to do a new format of the show's gone to hell in a handcart. I got to start I got to see what's going on with you guys. What are you guys drinking? What's in the coffee this morning? Some Irish coffee going on there in the bullpen? Somebody took out a Mickey flask there. I thought opening day was tomorrow. When you guys are talking about betting the Buffalo Sabre game, I know we're in trouble. All right, so I gave you guys that one. I do like the over here tonight, guys. In fact, I bet it early this morning, knowing I'm betting all the system plays. Why not? They're doing pretty well. All right, Chicago taking on Phoenix. I can't believe it's already 11:56. I'm trying to keep these shows under an hour, and it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible to keep these shows under an hour. And then, think of it when baseball starts tomorrow. We'll have to get a camp out. We'll have to camp out here. Tomorrow the format's going to be a little different, more emphasis on baseball, but and basketball. We're not going to leave anything, but I'll have to figure it out because I can't do an hour and a half, right? It's okay to go over an hour. Yeah, it is okay, but sometimes people don't want to be hostage over an hour, right? It all depends what people want. And that's why the replay is good, because if you just want to skip through, like, say, some stuff, even though that probably hurts my business format at the YouTube, but whatever you guys want, right? Phoenix, nice win last night. I had Phoenix on the money line last night. I bet a couple of money line. Like I said, I'm betting money line games. I'm picking my spots, and I'm seeing a big difference in the bankroll. And I think that's a good strategy if you're using, if you're betting money line. But last night, I can't remember what the money line was. Anyways. All right. Focus, Ron. Focus. -7.5. The over-under at 217. ATS forecast, 117 to 113. The over-under at 230.62. 7-3 straight up. Now, the only thing I don't like here is that Phoenix is going on a back-to-back game night, right? They were 5.5 point last night. I can't remember what the opening line was. But, here's the thing. Chicago Bulls on the road this year. 14-6 against the number. They got one of the best road records. In fact, let me go take a look at their. Look at this, Chicago Bulls 8-2 as a road underdog. Hey, is that you open something? There's something pointing towards Chicago Bulls. Let me see if there's anything else pointing towards the Bulls here. Chicago, Miami. Okay, let's take a look at the point spread record for team standings against the point spread for NBA. I thought Chicago Bulls were one of the best teams. Them and Oklahoma State. Let me see. Road records, ATS. Denver, 15-9. Oklahoma City, 15-8. Okay, Chicago, 14-6. Still good. Still really good. One game above the lead. And where was I here? All right. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think this is a tough one. Let me check out the Chicago Bulls. I know Kobe White was out last game. And is he back tonight? He did, and it was his first game, I think, in his career he missed. Now, Kobe White... game time decision. He had a sore neck, right? Missed due to it might be again. So he might be out again tonight. That's not good if you're Chicago. Zach LaVine, game time decision, ankle. And for Phoenix, man, Phoenix didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming. Them being this Chris Paul doing it, and that just goes to show you, like, hey, Chris Paul's a nice player, But I think Chris Paul's leadership is what's really helping this team, right? He's the president of the NBA Players Association. That kind of leadership you cannot buy. I bet you when he walks in the room, he takes a presence, right? And that kind of leadership, like for me as a football, here we go. Coach Ron, I got to take out my Coach Ron to take out my my whistle and my clipboard here. Anytime, when I go to coach's clinic, and we're always talking about leadership, right? And one of the hardest things that I found, and I bet you if there's any high school coaches out there right now, or even university coaches, or even Pop Warner, one of the hardest things noticeable things that I've noticed, I don't want to say hard, noticeable things that I've noticed in the last 7 years of coaching football, picking captains. Picking captain has really become something very noticeable. Before, captains, you can just like, oh yeah, bang, bang, bang. Now it's like you got to have meetings, you got to have players meetings. It's a really if you're in coaching, in any type of coaching, is that something you're noticing as well? Picking captains on a team, leaders, right? I'm talking about leadership. I think there's a really, and you saw about a month ago, the U.S. military came out, and that was one thing they were having trouble, right? Recruiting. I don't know if it was recruiting, but leaders. They were saying that the recruits they're getting were out of shape, right? And lack of leadership or something like that. It was something to the effect about leadership. And that's one thing that I'm noticing too in sports, right? Lack of leadership. And I wonder if that's having Chris Paul at the Phoenix Suns. Coming back to my original point, his leadership, even though he's a good player, I think his leadership is what's really bringing success to the Phoenix Suns. And, man, I would love to call the coach of Phoenix and find out. I bet you any money Chris Paul's leadership is why Phoenix is having such a great run. All right, laugh me out. I'm just ranting. Not likely I'll bet them, but maybe just for fun. I hate the Sabres. You're thinking with your heart. You guys are all over the place here. No way, plant-based. I'm from Buffalo. Oh, yeah, plant-based is he's a Mafia's, Bill's Mafia guy. So if you want to know anything about the Sabres, that's plant-based. Yeah, when you're on a losing streak, it's the worst. Back to this game here. I wouldn't touch Chicago tonight because of the situation with Kobe White. Zach LaVine's Batman. Kobe, in my opinion, is Robin. And when Batman doesn't have Robin. But the good news is that you might get a tired team here. But if you look at the records on NBA home favorites of 6.5 to 9.5, there's no letting down. 8-1 straight up, 6-3 against the number. I think this to me it's a no play tonight. But be careful if you're betting this game tonight. And Milwaukee against the LA Lakers. I got a great stat to show you here on this game here. Let me go to the. If you are just a gawker here at the Raymond Report, go to NBA, go to free reports. And let's go to the Milwaukee. I got a 10-0 stat here on the Brewers. Hey, I'm in baseball mode. Milwaukee Bucks, hey? I knew it started with a B. Milwaukee Bucks. Check this out. I got a great stat. I got a lot of stats. I got a lot of systems. If you like Milwaukee in the money line tonight, I don't know. It's probably too much, but it's too bad. Milwaukee is a road favorite last 5 years on 1 day's rest, coming off a road loss as a favorite. 10-0 straight up, 7-3 against the number. Man, that's like drop the mic and just walk out of the room, right? That's a walk-off stat right there. Bucks as a road favorite on 1 day's rest last 5 years, coming off a road loss as a favorite. 10-0. 10-0 straight up. Hermie to fat fight. Canadian and American Army, too fat to fight. Yeah. No, leadership, though. I'm telling you, the lack of leadership in sports, nobody talks about it, but I see it as a coach. Leadership is a big problem. All right, let me see here. So I think Milwaukee here tonight, this number just keeps climbing. It's opened up here. Let me see here. Opened up at 8.5 and went to 9. So, okay, it's still steady at 8.5. And looking at the forecast in this game, I'm just going to close this window. 118 and 106. So I got them winning by 8, right? Or let me see, not 8. 12. Got them winning by 12. So that's a lot of points. 7-3 straight up. Minus 5.8. So I always go back to my fundamentals, right? So where's the value? Is there any value tonight betting on Milwaukee? So they're overvalued. 8.5. I had them at 5.5. So 5.5, and I got the Lakers at minus 4.59. So there is value on the Lakers. However, keep in mind there's no LeBron and AD. Now value, the percentage play favors Milwaukee to win straight up, 66.6. and 78% against the point spread. Now, Milwaukee on a 4 ATS losing streak, so be careful with that. And when they're on the road against alpha-type teams, only 2-3, 1-3-1 against the numbers. So I'm not going to touch this game. I don't like betting games where, the one team is like their B team. It's like an exhibition game, right? This, to me, looks like an exhibition game tonight, and that's why I will not touch this game. All right, let's go to NHL real quickly, and we're going to bring up the computer stats here. Now, you guys are all over this one. Buffalo against the Sabres. The Flyers. You know what? Let me take out the... okay, I can see it right here. You got any water here? No. Philadelphia taking on Buffalo. Now, minus 200 is the line. And you got a B team. But Flyers are just horrible. I don't trust Philly. Obviously, the goaltending situation is just getting worse. I don't see Philly getting any better. Even though they were down 3-0 in that game, they came back to win. But 18-game losing streak. Buffalo's on an 18-game losing streak, and I'll go to the next one. This is the game of the night. This will be the game of the night between Toronto and the Winnipeg Jets. Now, on paper, you would think, on paper, you look at this, or on the standings, and you look at Toronto, and you think that, and Winnipeg having a great year, you got two types of teams. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go to the rain report on this one. I want to get the premium report, and I want to see the starting goalies. I don't know, Freddie Anderson. I thought he was supposed to come back pretty soon. Let me see with the starting lineup goaltenders. And no, it looks like it might be Jack Campbell, but I thought Freddie Anderson was pretty close in coming back. Head coach said that Anderson isn't close to returning. Okay, so he's not close. Underwent a few tests. So Freddie Anderson, for some reason, I thought I saw the other night in the report that he was going to come back. Campbell, Beaulieu. So I'm looking at the injuries. When I look at this game, my first reaction is that, Winnipeg having a great year. Winnipeg's having a 22-14. Toronto's 22-13. These teams are identical. This might be the top two teams in the division. Edmonton might have something to say about it. Toronto, though, 10-5 on the road. Winnipeg 10-6 at home. And when Toronto travels to Winnipeg, they're 4-6 straight up. And look at this. When NHL road teams or Toronto Maple Leafs on the road on 1 day's rest, 7-3 straight up. And wow, this is a tough game to handicap. This is going to be a tough game. But Toronto Maple Leafs, a couple of factors I'm going with the Leafs here. Number one, against A-type teams on the road, 6-0 straight up, and they fit the system play tonight, right? Toronto coming off a 1-goal loss. And if you look at our system plays this year, in fact, let me go to the database here, and let's go to NHL. Let's go favorite. Oh, actually, they're not a favorite, right? Oh, yeah, they are a favorite. Yeah, they're what, minus 147 I saw this morning? Let me see here. This morning, now they're minus 141. They're still a favorite, though. So the system play is still in effect. Favorites coming off a 1-goal loss. Where is it? 1-goal loss. Current season. Survey says 73-36. Solid system, right? Probably, if all of our system, I think this is the best one we have here. I'm going to go with the Leafs here tonight. I think the Leafs, I just wish, the goaltending, you know what? Hutchinson and Campbell, you really can't say anything. I thought Campbell was the last game he played. Let me check out his record here. 6-0. Well, what can you say? Yeah. Come on, Campbell, pick it up. Hey, 6-0. What are you trying to be? Johnny Bauer or something? Hey, 1.48 goals against. Yeah, you know what? Give me Toronto. I think Toronto. But I got a feeling Winnipeg at home. People are going to be on Winnipeg, and I think Toronto is the uncomfortable pick of the night. I'm going to go Toronto. I'm going to go with Toronto here tonight. Arizona, Colorado, and taking a look at this game here, you got the Avalanche 303 favorites, big money line. Now coming off a 5-2 win over Anaheim, where Arizona won 4-0. So they won 4-0. How does Arizona do after coming off a shutout? It doesn't say right here, right? Let me see here. Let's go to the database. I want to see how Arizona, any team coming off 0 goals against in their last game. Just bear with me, guys. Scored 0 goals against in their last game this season. Have they had any show? Okay, only 0-1. Let me go back the last couple of years. Let me do last 2 years. All right, so 5 and 6. Okay, so nothing really standing out. It's just, Arizona coming off a shutout. I always like to see how teams do coming off a shutout, right? 3 games. They haven't played in 3 days, so they've been off 3 days. I think Colorado, what's their record against Arizona in the last 10? 7 and 3. 7 and 3, so they do have their number a bit. And in the last time these two teams met, Coyotes won 5-4. Yeah, Colorado here, to me, is the play. But I'm not laying 3-0-3. Colorado is the play. LA against Vegas. Now, revenge game last game. They got their revenge in a 4-win. Actually, if you look at the last couple of games, LA won 3-2. Or was it? No. Was it right down here? 3-1. LA won. It was a Sunday afternoon or Sunday night. It was a 3-1 win for the Kings, and then they revenged that loss yesterday. And if you look at the Golden Knights, they seem to do well against the Kings in the last few games. 8-1 at home against C-type teams, and 14-3 at home. This, to me, Vegas is the play. 2-13, though. But the LA Kings, sometimes when you don't expect it, they come out and they give you a great performance. And they're on a 3-game losing streak. The chance of winning does have the percentage play favors the King. But again, I won't bet on C-type teams. Calgary, Vancouver. This is along with the Toronto Winnipeg game. Could be the game of the night. And let me take a look here on Markstrom against Thatcher Demko. This is a good goaltending duel right here. You got Markstrom up against his old team, and looking at the line, -120 for Calgary. That surprised me a bit. This line could have been a pick'em, right? Why did the bookmaker make Calgary a 120 favorite, right? If the bookmakers made, say, Vancouver a 120 favorite, would that change your mindset, right? Think about that. If the bookmakers made Vancouver a 120 favorite, would that change your mindset on this game? Now, looking at Calgary as a favorite this year, let's take a look at Calgary's road favorite, 4-8. So a bit like the New Orleans Pelicans, right? They don't do well as a favorite role, and 8-6 at home. So combined record as a favorite, 12-14. So they don't really do well as a favorite, and as an underdog for the Vancouver Canucks, they are 11-19 as an underdog. So they don't do too well but they haven't been a favorite a lot this year. But they're getting good goaltending. They're getting good goaltending from Demko. And looking at their record, 9-11 at home. And in the last 10 head meetings, Vancouver's 3-7. That's why maybe they're a favorite. 3-7, and both these teams got Edmonton on deck. I don't know. This is a tough game. This is a really tough game here. But look at this stat right here. Any NHL home teams this year on 6 days rest, 0-3 straight up in their next game. So I'll probably lean with Calgary here. Probably going to lean with Calgary. And the last game of the night, Minnesota-San Jose. Minnesota-San Jose. Is there a song there? I'm on my way to San Jose. Okay. -161. The over-under at 5.5. We got the Wild winning this one, 3.5 to 3.1. Now, Minnesota coming off a 4-3 loss to the Sharks. So, revenge factor here for Minnesota. Looking at their last 10 games, 7-3. Sharks are 4-6. Value edge, right? Fair market value. So, if you do like Minnesota, according to the Marine Report, you got fair market value. And 159. And looking at any line movement on this game, I'm going to see if there's any line movement. Open up at 179, and it's at 175, so a bit of line. 6-4 against C-type teams. I got to go Minnesota. But they're only 8-9. Only 8-9, so bit of a Jekyll and Hyde syndrome here. They're Jekyll at home. They hide on the road. Maybe a no play. No play here. I don't think I touch him here today. Hey, Isaiah knows Minnesota. That's where he's from. Yeah, they're driving you nuts, right? But when I look at this Minnesota team, there's really they're like a bullpen by committee type team, right? They're just a bunch of grinders that they'll fight their way of a wet paper bag. They just keep fighting. There's no real high profile name players on this Wild team, but they're just a good team. They're just a good team. All right, that is the rain report for a hump day, March 31st. Can't believe it's already 12:14. Eh? Time flies when you're having fun here doing the show. How did I do in my picks last night? Well, not bad at all. If you consider a 50% night, not bad. Last night we had the Bruins. Laid a bit of chalk, but I didn't care. Nice system play on the Bruins. Nice comeback. 0-2 in hockey. I had Edmonton and Carolina. Carolina outshot the Chicago Blackhawks. Just, sometimes you got to tip your hat to the goaltender. Lankinen played outstanding last night, and Carolina couldn't buy a goal. Edmonton just never showed up. Man, if you hindsight being 2020, I wish I could have took that back. They were flat. They were absolutely flat, but you don't know that the day of the game, right? I had the Denver Nuggets, my only NBA play, and that was a winner. So 2-2 if you consider the free pick, 0-2 in hockey, but looks like it's going to be a bounce back night here in the NHL. All right, folks, that's the show today for a Wednesday, Hump Day, a March 31st. Ramblers and Gamblers, you guys were you guys were duking it out there in the old bullpen today. Hey, I didn't need the lefty today in the bullpen. We had a couple righties going at it, and that was awesome. But if you're interested in the rain report, check it out, atsstats.com. ATS Stats, what you see here each and every day is I call that the toolbox, right? These are all the tools I keep in my toolbox, and you can get them here at atsstats.com. Only $99 gets you access to the website. If you're interested in my premium picks, only 27 cents a day. That gets you every pick, every day, less than $1 a day. You get my top plays each and every day. That's a pretty good deal when you think about it. You get my top plays each and every day for less than $1. And the picks win. They don't win always. I go on a good streak. Hey, I'm the first guy to tell you. I'm a 50 to 57% handicapper. When I'm hot, get on, get in the train. When I'm cold, get off the train. Just like anybody else, right? All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your day. As always, we'll see you back here on a full Friday. That's a Thursday to you and me. And we'll see you back here on Thursday, April 1st, opening day. And I'll get the arm ready for opening day to throw out the first pitch here in the bullpen. As always, shop for value, play those percentages. We'll see you back shortly here with another Rain Report. Cheers.